Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets because I've been saying for the last week or so that Bitcoin is in dire need of a correction. As we can see here, Bitcoin is very overextended on its stochastic RSI. Bitcoin's normal RSI is getting quite up here into the overbought territories, and Bitcoin has been largely moving north for the better part of the last 2 weeks or so. I do believe that Bitcoin needs a little bit of time to reset some of its oscillators and cool off a little bit, give the bulls some of their steam back, give the bears their opportunity to make their own price action, and actually kind of reset the market so we can continue going higher from here. So in today's video, we're going to be explaining why I believe we're going to probably be seeing some kind of correction coming in the next week or so, and we're also going to be discussing what that correction may look like. But before we get into today's video, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, definitely consider dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, and smashing the notification bell, guys, because it does help out the channel when you do it, so I would appreciate it if you did it. Let's get right into it. Bitcoin is currently trading at around $7,360. And if we come over here to CoinMarketCap, we can see its volume is also doing pretty well. Bitcoin is definitely trading at a very nice level right now. We've seen Bitcoin break above several levels of resistance that we're going to be talking about here in just a second. And it's up about 1% over the last 24 hours. If we check the altcoins, we see Bitcoin Dark has had a very, very good day. It's up 117%. Let's come look at this because Bitcoin Dark has a very funny looking chart. If we look down here, let's zoom this in a little bit over the last year. Bitcoin Dark has been September has treated Bitcoin Dark very, very well. So if any of you guys are in Bitcoin Dark, you are probably pretty happy with yourself right now. But nevertheless, the rest of the altcoin market is also doing pretty well. We see Dropple, 10x, Gas, Stratus, and Pivx are up in the double-digit green, and we see no double-digit losers. Hollow only losing about 9%. Overall, the altcoin market is rather neutral with a slight green tint, and as you can see, we do still see 5 double-digit gainers. But overall, like I said, the altcoin market is kind of just neutral with a little bit of green in store. The top 10 altcoins aren't doing phenomenally. Ethereum's down by about 2%, XRP's down by about 2%, Bitcoin Cash and EOS down by about 0.5%, and Stellar's doing pretty well because of some news related to IBM launching a payment system that is going to be incorporating Stellar. I believe we're going to be talking about in tomorrow's video, but we're not going to be talking about here because I have something that I really want to get off my chest in this video. Anyway, Litecoin's doing pretty well, Cardano's doing all right, and Monero's doing all right. Total Bitcoin dominance has crept up a little bit more over the last couple of days. It's up here around 53.2%. There's not a whole lot to write home about here, guys, because Bitcoin's dominance has largely plateaued over the last little while, up here around 50 to 55%. We talked about in another video, which you can watch up here in the top right if you're interested to get my opinion on the Bitcoin dominance. But nevertheless, I do think Bitcoin's dominance is not going to start going down until we actually do see the proper Bitcoin bull run start. And if it doesn't start, I think Bitcoin's dominance is going to be staying above 50%, at least for the foreseeable future, as people keep their money and keep their valuation in a more stable and a more less volatile and a more secure cryptocurrency like Bitcoin to hedge themselves against the rest of the bear market. Anyway, I believe that's all we wanted to cover here on CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin's volume's doing all right. Ethereum's volume's doing all right. Nothing really all that exciting there. So let's go ahead and get on to the technical analysis portion of today's video. Because as I stated at the beginning of the video, I do think we are probably going to be seeing some form of a correction coming over the next week or so, guys. I talked about in another video, which you can watch in the top right, about why I believe that's going to be coming. I believe I said in that video that we're probably going to see it in a week or so. And I think I'm going to make basically the same statement here, guys. I think that we are overextended on a lot of the oscillators. Bitcoin is looking very healthy right now, and the rally I don't think is in jeopardy. But I do think we need to calm down a little bit because as we can see on the stochastic RSI right here, we've been up in overbought territory in the Stoch RSI for like 17 days, guys. That doesn't happen very often. The last time that happened was back over here in April, and when we cooled off from the stochastic RSI, we entered the longest downtrend of the bear market so far. So I'm not very happy to see the stochastic RSI up here this long. You can also read the stochastic RSI being up here this long as a bullish thing, and that means that the bulls are able to keep pushing price action up despite the oscillator trying to bring us back down. That is one way you can read that, but at the same time, when it comes down, I'm worried what it'll do for price action, but it is nevertheless going to come down, guys. You have to keep in mind, stochastic RSI normally does force the market to do things, or rather, the market normally does respond to stochastic RSI, so I'm expecting that we are going to see some kind of retracement that is going to bring stochastic RSI back down here to its zero level, into its zero range over the next couple of days, probably within the next week or so. We're going to see some kind of retracement. Along with the stochastic RSI, on the normal RSI, we can see the normal RSI is getting pretty high up here. We see normal RSI is trading up here, not trading up here, but it's up here around 65. It's definitely getting into overbought territory. RSI is not overbought yet, but we're definitely getting there. You can read that also as a bullish sign. It means that the bulls are able to push us up, even though we are kind of high on the RSI on basically every time frame, actually. But at the same time, this is going to need to cool off if we continue going north. So let's also look at the 4-hour, because there's something that a lot of people have been wanting me to cover, and that is the RSI divergence on the 4-hour chart. So I'll go ahead and talk about it because everybody wants me to talk about it. We do see some RSI divergence on the 4-hour. We see price action has been moving up, but RSI on the other hand has been moving down. That is RSI divergence, and that typically is a bearish thing for the market, and that is definitely one of the things that is leading me to believe that we are probably about to see some kind of retracement. So let's talk about what that retracement might look like. Because if we're expecting a retracement, let's at least try and get an opinion of what it's going to look like. To do that, let's go ahead and turn our moving averages on and use our oscillators as well. I don't think this is going to be a retracement that is going to end the bull market. The rally that we're currently in. I don't think this is going to be a retracement that puts us in jeopardy. And what I believe is going to happen is that Bitcoin is probably going to break some of these formations that it's currently in, and it's probably going to pull back down here to somewhere around $7,000. Now, if this happens a week from now, then what I'm saying right now goes completely out the window. This is if the rally, if the correction starts right now. I would see Bitcoin coming down here to somewhere around $7,000, and hopefully it would be able to get support here on this 20 daily exponential moving average, because this is a very, very important exponential moving average that we need to stay above to keep the rally intact. Just because we go back below it does not mean that the rally is over. We saw the same thing happen over here where we got above it, faked out, broke above it, came back below, got above it again, and then started the rally proper. It would not be the end of the world if we go below the 20 daily exponential moving average. I'm very much hoping we don't, but at the same time, I also think that we're not going to. I think that $7,000 flat, or even something like $6,800, which would be a slight break of the 20 daily exponential moving average, would be strong enough to hold us up for the time being. I think Bitcoin is very healthy right now. I think the bulls are getting their steam back, and I think a lot of people are eyeing things like the 200 daily simple moving average, which is sitting up here not that far north of us. They're looking for a break of that to actually start a new proper bull run. Now, something I should clarify is that a break of the 200 daily SMA would not be confirmation of a bull run, but it would definitely be a very good sign. And I think the bulls are definitely back, not necessarily in a way that they were like in the end of 2017 or anything, but I think the bulls are definitely a lot stronger than the bears are right now. But like I said, at the same time, Bitcoin does need to cool off and needs to reset its stochastic RSI. The normal RSI needs to come down. 4-hour RSI is still quite up here. We can see 4-hour RSI has been up here. It gradually trended upwards through most of August, and it's been sitting up here in overbought territory, up close to 70 for the better part of the last week or so, with a little correction down here to about 40 when we had our correction back over here at the end of August. But nevertheless, 4-hour RSI and daily stochastic RSI, both of these oscillators and indicators need to have a correction. They need to come back down, and they need to give the bears their chance, because a market is not really that healthy if it just moves straight in one direction. If you just see a market move straight in one direction, it's probably either a very low liquidity, it's probably a very illiquid market, or it's not a very healthy market. You're never going to see that happen, and when it does happen, it's normally not a good thing. Normally, you want to see healthy correction to give the bears their time, and then the bulls can come in. And actually beat the bears and then push us back to a newer high for that rally and then continue moving north. You don't want to just move straight up without any kind of correction, because as we see on our indicators and oscillators down here, you're going to get overextended, and that gives the bears the better opportunity to actually destroy the rally, period, and bring us back down here to around $6,000 or so. So we do want to see a correction, and also the other thing about a correction is that it's a good time to start buying in. And the thing is also that if we're expecting a correction, maybe now's a good time to short. I'm not going to tell you whether it is or not, but whether it is or it is not, that is something that you guys can think about on your own. But based on stochastic RSI, based on daily stochastic RSI, daily RSI, and 4-hour RSI, as well as the 4-hour RSI divergence, and based on the fact that we've been moving upwards in a northerly direction so very quickly for the better part of the last 2 weeks, guys, I am expecting that we are going to see some kind of correction. And guys, one thing that a lot of people seem to think is that I'm a permabull, or that I'm always optimistic on the market. That's not true. All that I'm expecting is that a new bull run is coming because of everything I've outlined in so many videos at this point. I think it's coming within the next 6 months or so. Does that tint my opinion as to what I see the market as? I don't think so. I definitely do think that there's the potential of a correction coming right now, and a lot of people seem to think that, I'm not going to get involved with the haters here. But anyway, guys, I do think that there's a correction coming. Let me show you what will happen if we don't have a correction and where I think we may be going before the correction starts. It is very, very possible that Bitcoin comes up here and tests the 200 daily simple moving average before this correction happens. Let me tell you why I hope that does not happen. I hope that we do not come up here and test this 200 daily moving average and reject off of it. We need to get through this 200 daily moving average, ideally the first time we get above it, because as we've seen in the last 2 rallies, touching the 200 daily simple moving average, this moving average right here, has marked the end of the rally. So if we break through that, that's going to be a very bullish thing. That's going to be one of the early warning signs that we may be about to move into a bull run. But if we get rejected off of that, we could very easily see Bitcoin coming back down here to $6,000 to $6,500, somewhere in that region. What I think is probably more likely to happen is that Bitcoin may come up here to $7,500 and actually reject from there, because $7,500 is a halfway big even in between $7,000 and $8,000. It has 2 zeros in it. A lot of people are going to have sell orders at $7,500. You can go look at the order book on your exchange, and I promise you're going to see a big sell wall at $7,500. That's probably where we're going to see the next major level of resistance, and there's definitely a possibility that we get rejected there, and then we start the rejection, and then we start the correction down here, maybe to the to the 20 daily exponential moving average, maybe the 50 daily simple moving average. We don't really have enough technical analysis, and we don't have enough price history at this point to determine exactly where this rejection and where this retracement might bring us, because we haven't even seen the climax of the market that's moving into the rejection first. But anyway, guys, that's what we wanted to talk about in today's video, because I do expect that there is some kind of rejection coming, that there is some kind of correction coming, because the market can't just move up, and definitely we do need to see some kind of price action that's going to give us that's going to give the bears some time to recuperate their losses and their shorts, I guess. But we are going to need to see something like that. Tell me in the comment section down below if you agree with the technical analysis done in today's video. Do you think do you think the stochastic RSI and the RSI on the daily chart, the 4-hour stochastic RSI, the 4-hour RSI divergence, and everything else that we've talked about in this video is leading us into some kind of a correction? I think that we more than likely are going to see one, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. It's a bit shorter, but there's not a whole lot that we wanted to cover in today's video. But like I said, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.